this is Jodia Vanel, CEO of NESVANMAR, a management consulting and project management firm based right here in New York City. I'm also the host of Biz Talks with Jodia Vanel. Today we're featuring Dawn Kelly, a local businesswoman in Southeast Queens. Her shop, the Nourish Spot, is a place where you go and you get your amazing smoothies and salads, and it actually nourishes not only your body but your soul. I can't wait to share Dawn's experience with you. Make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel and you continue watching. Today we have an amazing entrepreneur, a marketing maven, Dawn Kelly of the Nourish Spot. Welcome, Dawn.
Well, thank you. Thank you very much, Jodia, for inviting me to be part of your small business talk. I really appreciate it.
Oh, we love having you. So, Dawn, tell us a little bit about your business, your inspiration, what got you to the point of opening up the Nourish Spot.
Well, I spent the bulk of my career as a public relations senior executive and became the director of public relations at York College here in Jamaica Queens, which is, actually walking distance from the Nourish Spot, my Black family-owned micro business of the year. And I worked there for about 6 years. And then after working there, I moved on to Prudential Financial, where I worked for nearly 16 years, being promoted 5 times, and leaving there in 2015, September of 2015, as Department Vice President of Global Communications. So when I left in 2015, it wasn't on my own accord. My job was actually eliminated, and my life was pretty much thrown into a tailspin. I really didn't know what I was going to do next. After a couple of months, I became challenged because I didn't know what I really wanted to do. But the one thing I did know is that I did not want to work for somebody else. After having my job snatched away from me, I was really scared of having my livelihood in the hands of another. But what happened was I was home one day and I was watching the news and I saw a segment about Styles P, the rapper. He owned a juice bar in Westchester, and I was immediately inspired. After that, I went looking for some space, and I found a space not too far from my home. Would you believe that the awning on the former space said DK Upholstery? And my name is, yes, no joke. And my name is Dawn Kelly. So I just knew, I took that as a sign that this place was the place for me. And a couple of months later, I actually got the keys to the spot. And here we are almost 3 years later, actually rocking and rolling and nourishing the people of the Jamaica community and beyond.
It seems as if the stars were aligned for you to get this particular spot. You've alluded to this a little bit, but I wanted to get a real understanding of what made you want to open a local business in your area that you grew up, particularly a community of color.
Again, I never thought I would own my own business. I never did. I mean, that just wasn't something that we were encouraged to do. What led me to create the business is, one, like I said, I was looking for something else to do, and I did not want to put my life in someone else's hands. I did not want another boss. I'll tell you that honestly. I wanted to be my own boss. And when I left Prudential in 2015, my health had suffered. I was traveling the world. I was eating late. I was socially drinking, and my weight had ballooned. And so I was on my own health journey. So when I saw the story about the segment about the juice bar in Westchester, it actually rang true with me. It was something that I was doing, and I thought that if I could have figured out how to get on my own wellness journey through fruits and vegetables and produce, and walking, why not offer that same type of opportunity to the people in my community? And so I did, and that's what we're doing. We're offering people health and wellness here. It's not just the fact that you can get produce, it's the fact that you can design food choices, menu selections that will help you on your own wellness journey.
I know, and as we speak, you're actually at the Nourish Spot, so we will be hearing blenders and all sort of concoctions going on in the background, because
Yes.
you're definitely nourishing someone right now.
Yes, I am.
So kudos to you for starting up your small business in a community of color. I know a lot of businesses are started in these communities, minority communities, and it's really a way of creating generational wealth. What does generational wealth mean to you?
Well, that's a really good question, because one of the last projects that I was engaged in at Prudential Financial was a watershed study. It was about the financial behaviors of African Americans. And some of the research findings were all about the fact that African Americans were, kind of years behind other ethnicities in terms of establishing generational wealth for their families. And that's something, I'm a single parent of two. I have a son that's 31 named Owen, and I have a daughter, Jade, who's 29. And I raised them, of course, with the help of my family, but really by myself. And so one of the things that I have been concerned about is what will I leave for them when I'm no longer around? What can I put in place for them that can be long-standing? Why not be like the Walmarts or the McDonald's of the world? I wanted to do something like that for my children.
Of course, it's going to continue going when you're here and you're no longer here, because you are, you're teaching them something. You're not only leaving something physical behind, but there's so many tangible skills that they're taking from this experience, managing, running a business, right?
Yes, exactly. I mean, they're learning a lot. My daughter, she's actually a graduate of Johnson and Wales, and so she helped to create the menu that we have and some of the juice blends that we have. Our branding was created by my son, Owen. He's a graphic artist, a photographer, very creative young man, and so he created our logo. I think you can see it on my shirt, the Nourish Spot logo. Also, we have a number of young people that work for us. We're really proud of what we've been able to do for the young people in our community. Just an aside, when I was a young girl growing up in Laurelton, Queens, I actually had a job. There's still a supermarket there on 234th and Merrick Boulevard, but I was there when the first supermarket opened, and it was called Consumers. And I used to be able to, I'm getting goosebumps. I used to be able to walk around the corner to my job. And that made me really, really happy to have my own money, to be able to do what I wanted to do with my money. And so I would tell you that it gives me great pride to be able to do the same thing for some of the young people that live in this community, because they, especially now during COVID, because they can come from their house, they can come to work, okay? And we provide them with a little sense of normalcy in this crazy, time that we're living in right now. So I'm really, really proud of what we've been able to do and what God has allowed us to do.
Well, we're really proud of the work that you're doing. I mean, you're giving back to your community. You are nourishing not only your people's bodies, but you're also nourishing their souls. So you're doing a phenomenal job, and kudos to you for all that you do and all that you do with working with young people.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
So in business, there's something called a tribe, a group of folks that are supportive. You can get constructive feedback from them. They're there to pick you up in your darkest moments. Do you have a tribe? And who are your tribe? And why are they considered part of your tribe?
Oh my God, I have such a tribe, and I feel so blessed because one of the mantras of my life, especially in PR, relationships matter. When you are promoting people, places, or things, you have to work with journalists, right? And you really have to have good, solid relationships with them. They have to believe in you. They have to trust your word. They have to know that what you're selling them is important to the people at large, the people that read or view or listen to them when they're reporting on the news of the day. And so I learned very early on how important relationships are, in life. And so I love people. Most people will tell you that I love people, and I collect people. Like people collect things, I collect people. And so I have a tribe that, that extends as far back as second grade. One of my really, really good friends, her name is Rosalind Spigner. She's a district leader here in Queens. I've known her since the second grade. And so she has been phenomenal in helping me get other people to know about the Nourish Spot. She is a sorority sister of the Delta Sigma Theta organization, the Queens alumni chapter. And because of her, my first year here, more than 60 women of Delta Sigma Theta showed up at the Nourish Spot on Small Business Saturday. And those women have become consistent customers of mine. In addition to them, I have Simone Meeks. She is the spouse and wife of Congressman Gregory Meeks. She's a very good encourager, supporter of me and the Nourish Spot. She gives me really good feedback, sometimes feedback that's hard to take, but when I put it into action, it works, okay? I also am very happy for a woman named Adrienne, Alpha Kappa Alpha, the Epsilon Pi Omega chapter. And this past year in February, I tell you, timing is everything. This past year in February, they chose the Nourish Spot as their business to highlight, to spotlight for 2020. That couldn't have happened at a better time, because you know what? Now I have so many more AKAs that know about the Nourish Spot, so many more women that tell their friends. There's a saying, empowered women power women. And so all these empowered women are powering me and the Nourish Spot forward, and I'm truly grateful. And then there's some guys too. Let me not leave them out. Your husband, Clyde Vanel, he was one of the first people to interview me and come into the Nourish Spot and sit down and help me share my story about what I was doing and why I was doing it, as well as Senator Leroy Comrie and his staff, Congressman Gregory Meeks and his staff, Danique Miller and his staff. All of these elected officials in Southeast Queens. Oh, wait, don't let me forget Assemblywoman Alicia Hyman, okay, and her staff. I mean, all of our elected officials, they have been marvelous. I mean, not only do they come, well, before COVID, not only did they come into the Nourish Spot and actually sit at the bar and eat their lunch or eat their supper, but they also make sure that I'm aware of what's happening out here in the community, opportunities that I should take advantage of, and they encourage me. And I'm really, I can't explain to you just how important that is and how grateful we are. Additionally, Melva Miller, who used to be the Deputy Queensborough President. When we opened here at the Nourish Spot, Melva and our former Queensborough president, Melinda Katz. They were one of the first people here. Also very, very grateful to the women at
Redevelopment Center.
Yes, I cannot say enough thank you to them. All of the women there, Kim Hardy, you know, that's at 1JFK, Sister Rodina Caesar, because she has been with me since the beginning. She has encouraged me since I started this endeavor, and I know that I wouldn't be sitting here talking to you as the CEO of the Nourish Spot if she hadn't been in my back pushing me along. So there's many people, you know, too many to actually say here, that I'm truly grateful for, and I'm glad that they're in my life.
I know, so many, right? This program can go on and on and on, but the show must go on because we're here to talk business. So shout out to all of those folks that you mentioned. Relationship is key, and for them to support you, that's an amazing thing. Where we've been talking about some really happy moments, and even sometimes I want to cry just listening to your story, but now we're going to switch a little bit to not such happy moments. We're right now in a crisis.
Yes.
I want to know,
Yes.
for your local business, your small business, what has that experience been like? The good, the bad?
I would tell you, it's challenging, right? Because one of the things that I feed off of, my energy feeds off of, is my engagement with my customers. You know, I love when the door opens and people come in, and, you know, I have clients that are 5, and I have clients that are 95. And so when the little kids come in after school and tell me about school, you know, they come banging in the door. Miss Dawn, let me tell you what happened. Let me tell you what happened today. I miss those days. I miss my regular customers coming in and sitting down. And so that's one of the things that's sad about COVID, because we are not allowing anyone in the store except our employees. You know, I'm trying my best to keep the environment as sacrosanct as possible, as safe as possible. So if you work here, you can walk in. And once you walk in, you're in a mask and gloves. Business has been marvelous. It's been miraculous. And I think it's because people now realize more than ever before that how they eat, how they take care of themselves, how they consume food is really, really important, because healthy people have a fighting chance of withstanding and overcoming COVID. If you're managing health issues like hypertension and diabetes and gout and all the other problems that plague Black and brown communities, then COVID can ravage you, right? And maybe take advantage of you and you not make it through. But having a healthy diet can protect you and inoculate you. And so I'm glad that we're here to provide the fruits and vegetables and roots and tubers and herbs that people can use to live a much healthier life.
It is our honor to be able to serve and highlight businesses, especially during a crisis where small businesses are affected all around the country, all around the world, and particularly right here in New York City. So Dawn, you've shared a wealth of knowledge for us. You've dropped so many jewels. I know that people will want to stay connected to you. So can you tell us, where do you park at on social media?
Okay, well, you can follow me personally at PRMaven17. That's PRMAVEN17. Or you can follow the Nourish Spot at the Nourish Spot. And I would tell you that, you know, one thing that I learned in all these years of working in public relations, that it's important to be consistent. So I'm PRMaven17 on Instagram and on Twitter, okay? And we are the Nourish Spot on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. So follow us there. And again, we're open during COVID from 9:30 a.m. to 6 p.m. Monday through Friday, and 10 a.m. to 7 p.m. on Saturdays. We're closed on Sundays because even Jesus rested on Sunday. And it's really important for me to get rest sometime. And so I use my Sundays to have uninterrupted rest.
All right. Thank you so much for joining us today on Biz Talk. We look forward to sharing your information.